Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. This is Business Casual, and today we have a very special guest, Shane Bieber, joining us. Shane, what's going on?
What's up, TB? It's good to see you, brother. Thanks for having
Same.
me on.
Yeah, it's great. It's been a while. We didn't even get a chance to really hang out in spring training because everything got shut down before we really got our feet underneath us.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
So right now I'm in Santa Barbara. Got a good little setup. Took me a little while, but I got a good setup going. Just waiting for that call.
How big's your Airbnb? What'd you go with? You on the ocean? You on the water? Where you at?
I'm close. I'm about a 3-minute drive from the water, which is nice too because I know this area particularly well, and there's some secluded spots, and the beaches are not closed yet, and so able to kind of get our own little cove down there when we go to the beach, and obviously staying a safe distance away from everybody, but able to enjoy our own time down on the water.
That's awesome. You been doing any water sports? Surfing, boogie boarding, anything
No,
like
but
that?
no, but I have been interested. I mean, I won't do this, especially now that I'm going to talk about it because I'm pretty sure it's a breach of contract. But dude, it's been windy. It's been super windy here, and watching these dudes go kite surfing
Dude,
is absolutely unbelievable. These guys are badass, and they're
yeah.
just whipping around. I don't know how they. I would freak out. I'd have a panic attack because
I
I
wonder
don't
what
know
the
how they
steps
control
are.
it.
Yeah, what are the steps to get involved in that? Like, I'm assuming it's surfing first, and then you just one day strap a parachute to yourself and go for it. I don't know.
But dude, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then I was there yesterday actually, and it was a particularly windy day. There was a bunch of people out, and there's some guys that are like 65 plus grinding out there. They got it's incredible. They have their obviously their kites and their boards. Pretty much all of them. I'd say like 90% of the kite surfers, at least in this area, are using those hydrofoils, right? So they have, I guess, what, better control. I've never ridden one.
Yeah,
A little easier to stay on, a little more stable. But it seems like it's an all-inclusive type of sport. There's a lot of different people doing it.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Because those guys that are just career like beach bums, not in a bad way, but just love being by the water and being out there and invent all
Yeah,
sorts of new cool stuff.
yeah.
You've been riding your bird around town.
No, I mean, there's no place to ride it,
Yeah,
but I do love
that's
that
true.
thing.
Yeah, that's true. I got one for
Trying to
myself
take, I'm
actually
trying to
now.
figure out how to take the governor off. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I got one. Been
Are you in
zipping around here.
are, are you in Scottsdale?
Yeah, we're in a little bit north of Scottsdale, but yeah, like Paradise Valley
So
area. Same house that we were at
yeah,
actually.
okay. So what happened there? You just extended the lease?
Yeah, so our lease was through April, like middle of April anyway. I think April 14th. So we weren't sure what was going on, so we wrote out the lease, and then we just extended for a month because we were still filming some stuff down here and didn't know where
Right.
everyone was going to be. And now Taiki and Scott are going off to LA. They got a place in Santa Monica, and I'm finding another place out here
Oh,
because
cool.
I don't know where to go right now.
Right. I just actually extended this place for like another 2 weeks. Fortunately, there's like not many people renting right now. So
Yeah.
I texted the guy and he was like, "Yeah, it's open ended right now." So extended it for another 2 weeks and just we'll figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same situation. I'm leaving this house, but wasn't able to get a place until the 25th. So I leave here on the 14th and like have a 10-day period in between where I'm going to be in some
Yeah.
rental, like halfway house, and then get to another one where I'll probably be for like 2 weeks, and then we'll get an announcement that season's going to be back or spring training's going to start or who knows what's going on. But it's just a mess right now,
And then we might
honestly.
have to, yeah, uh, and then we might have to go back to Arizona for spring training for what, 2, 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So who knows?
that'd be a mess
I
trying
don't
to
even
get everybody
know.
housing.
Yeah, do you think we're gonna have spring training in our home cities, or what's that gonna be like?
I have no idea. I would guess that they'd try to do it that way because I mean, having everybody go back to spring training sites and find housing for like 2 weeks and with no preparation time would just be a huge mess. Then you'd have a bunch of guys in hotels.
Right.
There'd be no way to really like quarantine everybody. So if it's a home city, at least you can kind of control, where guys are living because everyone probably has housing set up. Or I don't know. But then how are you going to do rosters? Are you going to have 50 people in spring training? Like probably only 20 people or 18 people on each roster were planning on having a place to live in the home city because no one knows what team they're going to make and all that. It's a mess, man. I don't know.
Yep.
I hope they get it figured out soon though. I want to play.
I know. We just got to figure it out. I loved your live ABs with Deets. That was phenomenal.
Dude, hilarious. Yeah.
Well, I consider myself fortunate because I'm the first player you get to Zoom call with after your phone got leaked on the internet.
Dude, it's crazy. It's blowing up right now.
I need to know everything that happened.
So I have my text separated into like unknown folder and my contacts folder. So I have 3,160 text messages in my unknown folder, and I got a ton more in my normal folder because I guess they're just leaking over. So I just scroll for ever with unknown numbers. I've got FaceTimes nonstop.
You got to get a new number, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new number. This is ridiculous. I can't FaceTimes nonstop. My voicemail filled up, so people can't call me there. I got Snapchat audio. I got WhatsApp audio coming through. It's just nonstop, literally nonstop. That's crazy. But
and your phone hasn't burst into flames yet?
It's trying to. But no, not yet. I've been fortunate about that because I'd like to keep the phone, just get a new number, but hopefully all the incoming traffic doesn't mess it up.
I'll tell you what was brilliant was so you did a little contest and you put directions in your voicemail. You changed your voicemail.
Yeah. As soon as it happened, I was like. Well, that's the problem. So as soon as it happened, I was like, oh shoot, this is bad. There's no going back because once it gets out on the internet, one person's going to tweet it, people save it, it's going to be in all sorts of public directories, whatever the case is. So it's like, how can we make a little bit of fun out of this while I still have the number? So change the voicemail, doing a giveaway, and then realized that my voicemail filled up extremely quickly. So today I just tweeted out the rules to the giveaway, so more people have a chance to get in on it. Trying to get some followers,
Oh, that's right.
But I was doing a KBO broadcast last night, and so they had me join via FaceTime on ESPN. So I was on for like 2.5 innings or something.
Yeah.
And when I joined on FaceTime, they had a shot, and it was just like FaceTime because my unknown number, and so it's just my number up top.
Yeah.
Everybody starts screenshotting it. So in the second inning, is like my computer started blowing up, and I was like, I don't know. So we were on break actually. And it was in between innings, and so when we go on break, the screen goes black, and so I can only see myself because they're cutting it, for the broadcast or whatever. So I had no idea if I lost connection with the broadcast or not, and I started getting FaceTimes, just a bunch of them, and I'm like, oh shoot, is it them calling me, trying to get me back on the broadcast? And I was like, I don't know what to do, so I just wrote it out and waited, and checked my phone. My phone was blowing up. I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't realize until afterwards that they'd accidentally leaked it. So I'm just.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, okay, so you would think, okay, everybody who's watching this live has my number, right? But then you got platforms like Barstool, a bunch of people tweeting it out, and they didn't even do you the service of blurting it or blurring it out. They just put it right back on there. And so it's just multiplying. It's more and more people are seeing it, and then they're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, just going viral. As Jared Carabas FaceTimed me, and I don't know how I saw his thing come through, but I talked to him for an hour last night. And he's like, dude, this is great. This is such good content. I'm like, yeah, it's great for you. You get to make fun of me for it. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Yesterday was a crazy day at this house. So we woke up in the morning, and I was going to go out and into our garage. We got a little studio set up in the garage, obviously. So I was going to go out there, and I walked out there, and there's 40 bees in the garage just flying around. I'm like, what is going on here?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, dude. So then I talked to Tyke and we're like, oh, we should probably, I don't know how they got in. We should probably just open the garage door and then they'll just fly out. Just let it clear out. So we open the garage door. We check back in like 20 minutes later and there is hundreds of bees in my garage. So we had to go out there and close the garage door.
In the garage.
In the garage because it's getting worse. So we close the garage door and trap all the ones inside, but then they're just buzzing around. Like if you listen to the garage through the door, you could hear the buzzing of the bees. So then we tried to figure out where they're coming from. We walk outside our front door and there's like 40 bees around our front door. Like, what is going on? So we see in the corner of our of the house, there's like 5 nests, 5 beehives or whatever, just in the corner, just buzzing like crazy. And we're like, geez, where did this come from? So then we had a beekeeper come out.
It's incredible that.
What's that?
Well, I was just gonna say it's incredible that nobody noticed until all 5 of them were there and buzzing around and bursting.
Yeah. So we had a beekeeper come out and look at those hives, and he's like, "You guys have like thousands of bees in your walls." I'm like, what? So he got like the full.
I'm out of there, bro.
So out, dude. So the full beekeeper suit. The whole deal, he's like over there, they're just mad as hell. There's a huge swarm around him. We're like 100 feet away just watching this happen. You can see the swarm and it's nuts. So he looked at that one and he's like, all right, well, this is what's going on. Like these ones need to be moved and all this stuff. So he went and run some errands to do the movement and whatever. So we're back inside. So he takes care of the first nest. He's like moving them all. And so he's like, okay, like let's hang out. I'm gonna go do some stuff. I'm gonna come back in half an hour and just see what's going on. So he came back, went in the garage, was just kind of checking the house out. And he's like, I hear some buzzing in the garage. He's like, but I don't see any bees. And we're like, what? So we walk outside and around the side of the house, and by my car, there's just this massive, like 5 times the swarm that was there earlier, just swarming around my car. And he was saying that it's like the queen bee is like moving and trying to find a new nest, and so all the bees just follow her and swarm around her, and they just ended up at our house. So we had 2 massive swarms, and it's like, yeah, these ones they're just looking for a place. Like if they're here tomorrow, we'll see what to do because it's likely they won't choose this place. They'll just rest here and then they'll like move on. So I haven't been outside yet, so like there could be just thousands of bees.
Yeah, don't go outside.
Yeah,
don't be a hero, bro.
Dude, it's nuts. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a swarm of bees like just appear out of nowhere like that. And then we had like 20 bees in the house, just buzzing around in the house because they got in somehow, either when someone was coming in the door, like through a vent or something like that. So that was the early part of yesterday. And then
what a day, huh?
Yeah, then my number gets leaked, and we were just going through all the things that have happened at this house, the spring training. It's like. We had got the bees. My car got totaled while I was in the McLaren dealership.
Oh, yeah.
Twice. Did you hear about the second time?
First time we thought your car got totaled, right? You Snapchatted me the 18-wheeler, a wheel fell off, like the most crazy incident, right?
Yeah.
Went straight into it, like hopped over a highway median, right? Straight in the back of your car. And we were talking about go figure. You always have a good brain for like how to turn things into content, good content. And we were like, dude, you got to get that going in like a Allstate commercial or a Mayhem, right? Did you ever end up doing that? I
tried so hard, man. I had everybody reach out. I got nothing. Got absolutely ghosted. Yeah. It would have been a perfect Mayhem commercial. Just him in the tire, just rolling down the highway. Man, it would have been perfect. So yeah, that happened, and then it got repaired. It was like $65,000 worth of damage. Got repaired. Got shipped out here. On the way to getting to Arizona, the transport driver was like, "Hey, your car's leaking some fluid from the back." I'm like, great. So instead of shipping it to me, I was like, just take it to the McLaren Scottsdale dealership and have them look at it. So it got there. They were looking at it. 2 days after it got to the dealership, when it was still there, a BMW went like over a curb and smashed, like accordioned a McLaren in front of the store, broke through the wall, damaged a McLaren inside. Not mine. not mine, but it's just it's bad juju around this car, you know?
Yeah.
So that happens. So when I go to pick up the car from the dealership, the whole front of the store is still like boarded and like caution taped and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, get my car out of here. So I take it home. I drive it for 3 days. I'm pulling out of my driveway one morning, and luckily it was on I didn't have to be somewhere for whatever reason that day. I was pulling out. Maybe we had an off day or something. And I pull out, and it starts yelling at me, don't drive the car. Take it to the dealership immediately. I'm like, great. So I call the dealership, and they're like, yeah, you're fine to drive it to the dealership, but it's got some problems going on, so bring it in. So I bring it in. It's in there for 3 days. They fix the problem, and then they're test driving it, and it gets totaled. So $130,000 worth of damage the second time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. Just so that happened, and then at this house too, we found out midway through spring training that someone had died here at the house.
When?
Like before we rent. I don't know exactly. It was like recently before we rented it.
Oh my God, dude, you got to get out of there.
It's bad. It's bad deal.
No, so. and the season got suspended.
And coronavirus. We had an animal die in one of our vents in the room and then hatch like a ton of flies. So for 4 days, we had like probably 50 plus flies in our bathroom just buzzing around. Like,
I can't believe you're still there, to be honest.
I'm trying to get out of here as quickly as possible. Yeah.
If you guys didn't have everything already set up, which took like weeks, right?
Yeah. All sorts of equipment, like trying to figure out, it's such a huge undertaking to try to clear out the house and like get everything packed. We don't know what is whose and where everything should go. And we're like overwhelmed and we got to move out in like 4 days.
I bet I get overwhelmed when it's just my stuff and it's like 2 suitcases.
Yeah. Same here. What else have you been doing in your time? Like, what have you been filling the time with? You've been watching shows, you going like cooking?
Yeah. Trying not to burn the place down when I try and cook new recipes. It's just not like, it's not me. Fortunately, Kara, my girlfriend, has picked up the slack on that end. She's treating me real well, better than I deserve. So, but then crushing a ton of shows, playing a ton of Call of Duty, and then working out and throwing bullpens. I'll tell you what, I'm so over bullpens that, dude, we've been throwing pens for 6 months now? Basically, with a little bit of game action sprinkled in there just to
like
keep
it
fresh. Yeah. And, pens are the most frustrating thing in the world because you're just going up against yourself and you're going to, beat yourself up. I've never left a bullpen happy.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll get some live hitters. Might have to go out to the desert like you, but.
Come on out to AZ, baby. We got some hitters.
Yeah. Did the cops end up rolling you?
They came. Apparently, we didn't know this, but apparently we were on reservation land. And so we very easily could have like not been, because there's no rules. It's not U.S. law on reservation land. They can do whatever.
Right.
We didn't realize that. And luckily, the cops were very friendly and like just asked us to not come back, and we're very polite about it. But yeah, dude.
No way.
So sketchy. It's unbelievably hard to find a barren piece of land in the desert. You wouldn't think because it's the desert, but like you can't find a piece of land. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah. Especially like Phoenix is just popping up like nobody's business right now.
Yeah.
And so you probably had to travel quite a bit for that.
Yeah. I think we've been at like 4 or 5 different spots. So we got some episodes coming out soon. They're pretty funny.
Yeah. I saw a trailer for that. Cam Hill was in there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, who did he throw against?
Scott Kingery.
How'd he do? Wait, you can't. If you don't, don't spoil it. But you can text me.
It's a funny episode, dude. I think that's the next one that's going out. But yeah, Logan was in that one, and
Logan as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, dude. It's fun. You know how it is. It's just hanging out with your boys and talking crap while you try to dominate each other.
I miss it so much.
So much, dude. I haven't had anything to compete in for a long time. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
It's weird.
Losing my mind. What shows you been watching?
Okay. I've been watching pretty much everything on Netflix. I started rewatching Entourage because, I mean, how do you beat it?
Yes.
This has got to, like, I've watched that show more times than I'd like to admit, but it's so good every time. So
I've watched Ari Gold highlights, like the 11-minute YouTube montages, probably 7 or 8 times this spring. It's just so funny.
Without a doubt, my favorite show. So, been crushing a ton of Entourage. There's this trippy show on Amazon called Upload. I started watching it last night. I don't know if I'm into it, but it's kind of different. It's like a sci-fi, like futuristic thing. But really, I mean, I got nothing else to do, so I'll sit down and watch it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I generally get my my workouts and my throwing done pretty early, so then the rest of the day I kind of just try and fill time. Maybe make a big grocery store run. Those are big over here. Getting real excited. Nice little Sunday plan.
That's right. Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, about the same. You know, my workouts are flipped though. I work out like 4 to 7, 3 to 7, something like that in the afternoon. So I wake up in the morning, get my breakfast, get all my work done, go for a walk. It's a little harder to get outside here in AZ because it's 105 right now. So
right,
and we're surrounded by bees, so I'm kind of trapped inside.
You're actually on lockdown.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I've been watching a couple shows. Watched Tiger King. That was
of course.
Yeah. Were you part of that? Were you locked into that when it was going on?
Oh yeah, I was on it real quick.
Yeah.
That's why. Speaking of Cam Hill, he like grew up like real close to that zoo in Oklahoma.
No way.
Yeah.
Has he been there?
I don't think he's. I don't know. You'd have to ask him actually, but you know, they're all one and the same, aren't they?
Pretty close. I know a couple guys from Oklahoma, and they're all the same. I love them. They're my boys, you know.
I hate to generalize, but
yeah,
it was pretty spot on.
It's a cultural thing for sure. What do you got on I know you've been watching a little bit of the Jordan documentary. You caught up on that one?
Unbelievable. Yeah, and it's there's more tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
So good. I can't get over the Dennis Rodman. That's probably my favorite part still to this point.
Can you imagine if that was the world we lived in? Like, hey, Tito, I need 7 days, man.
Yeah.
I gotta get out. And he's like, yep, sure, see you in 7.
They go, well, how much time do you need? Where do you need to go? And he's like, I got to go to Vegas. I have to. They give him 48 hours. He was gone for like 72 or much longer than that. Actually, it was like over 100 or something.
Yeah.
They had to go and get him.
Yeah, just go drag him out of Vegas. He's just loving life. And the fact that they still came back and they won the championship that year. Can you imagine? Like,
yep.
How fun must that team have been? Just going on benders and.
I can't even imagine. It's a different era. That's for sure.
There's no way that would have flown in social media today. Like it just can't.
No.
It can't happen.
It'd be impossible.
Like Johnny Manziel tried it and got got exposed super quick.
Yeah, it got shut down real quick.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
That documentary is crazy.
Yeah. Do you know how many episodes there are? It'll go on for like quite a while, huh?
I think there's like 10 episodes or something from what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you think they paid for that? Or whoever made it, how much do you think they made? It's got to be like they got to make just absolute bank on that, right?
Dude, and think about like right now, it's all everybody wants sports, right? Like they're just fiending for it. So it's to talk about Michael Jordan for 2 hours every Sunday. I wonder what the ratings are. It's probably incredible.
It has to be huge. I mean, the ratings for the NFL draft that they were doing were like astronomical, off the charts, you know?
Yeah. And that's like, to wrap it into baseball, I feel like the sooner we can get baseball, MLB on the TV, it's better for everybody. It's like, you know, it's the further we delay it, the more it's a missed opportunity. I feel like every single baseball game that will be on the TV will be, the numbers will be astronomical, right? Like compared to relative to last year.
Absolutely. I mean, UFC was on last night. It was the first live sporting event. No one in the arena, but like all over social media. Everyone was about it. The ratings were crazy on it. KBO is on, and everyone's adopting KBO teams, which is awesome. Like, it's so fun watching those games, you know? Like, the sooner we can get baseball back on, it's going to be right in the forefront of everyone's attention.
I know. I think it'll be great for everybody. So hopefully, I'm just waiting, man. Hopefully soon.
How long spring training do you think you would need to like be ready for the season at this point? Like, you need 2 starts, you need 4 starts. Like, what's the? Because usually you get like 5 or 6 to ramp up, but
yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like I'd be ready pretty quick, relatively quick. Like I'm throwing two pens a week right now. Yesterday I did 3+ up downs, like 60+ pitches, just kind of staying there until we're able to like get some sort of date and I'm able to ramp up, right? And so I feel like I'm in a good spot. I've created a good little base and a foundation to be ready to ramp up relatively quick. So really just 3 weeks? What is that? Maybe 4 starts, 3 starts?
That's what I was like. Yeah, so 3 times through a rotation would be 15 days. So it's like 2 weeks.
Right.
So if people came in and they went 2 innings, 3 innings, 4 innings, then when the season started, you'd be ready to go 5. If you came in and you went 3, 4, 5, you'd be ready to go 6. I guess it's going to depend on roster sizes a little bit too, right? Like, if you have 4 or 5 extra relievers, then you probably need less time in spring because relievers can cover an inning that a starter may not be able to cover.
Right.
Guys
And like,
ramp
how
up.
long is it? And like, how long is that roster going to be expanded for? Is it going to be the whole season, or is it just going to be the first month to allow pitchers to ramp up? I mean, there's so many different things that
and
it really affects.
The crazy part about it too is like all those games are going to matter so much, you know? Like, think about like last year in Cleveland, I mean, we were 81 games in, we were 10 games back? Like, and then it like tightened up. It was like down to like literally the last weekend to see if you guys made the playoffs or not. There's going to be so many teams that like are there at 70 games or 80 games that over the course of the long season wouldn't be there at the end, you know, but like no time for slow starts.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be cool. It'll be different, that's for sure. But somebody asked me the other day, like, oh, what's this going to do to whoever, wins the World Series? Like, it's going to be tainted. I'm like, hell no. Like, a ring's a ring. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
A World Series is awarded because 30 teams come together, they agree upon a set of rules, and they go out and they compete and see who is the best at winning under those set of rules, right? So if the set of rules are different, then it's the same thing. It's like go out and see who's best at these set of rules.
Yeah.
NBA's 82
stoked.
games or whatever. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it, man. It's going to be different. There's going to be a little extra, like a newness factor, So there's going to be a little extra adrenaline because of the newness. And
if you think about it, playoffs will potentially, it's hard for fans to see this, but there's definitely a mid-season form for each player and each pitcher specifically. Like, you got to feel fresh and your arms got to feel good. And that generally, for most guys, if you had to generalize, it comes around like mid-season, right? And that'll be right around playoffs. So
June, July, yeah. That's a great point. I haven't heard that point before, but that's really good. Like, the level of playoffs is probably going to be a lot higher.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But how about I just have so many questions I want answered, and it's nobody's fault because it's just such a crazy time, but how's this going to affect spring training next year or our off season if there is one? The turnover is going to cause, hopefully not, knock on wood, but potential to cause quite a few injuries.
That's what I'm scared of. Yeah. I mean, the ramp up, the quick ramp up to the season this year, because there's plenty of guys that aren't able to even get outside. If guys are like in New York or whatever. I don't know how they're even playing catch or throwing. There's some guys that don't want to go outside, that aren't doing anything, that they're not swinging right now. And think of all the oblique injuries that you see, when guys are in shape, from swinging and stuff. And guys that aren't able, they're not outside taking ground balls and running and sprinting like they're normally doing, and they're going to come back. There's going to be hamstrings, there's going to be groins.
Yep.
It's not Yeah, it's tough. Like player safety is going to be huge. On top of the risk of obviously the infection and getting corona and spreading it and all that different stuff. It's a crazy time. A lot of things floating around that a lot of pitfalls.
Yeah, there's gonna be so many contingencies, and it's gonna affect so many things in the future too, not just like this season, but seasons to come. So it's weird, man. It's weird, but hopefully it works out all for the better.
Yeah. Would you be open to playing through like regular season through November and like doing like playoffs in December-ish if that was the case? And we could get like 120 games in. Like let's say we can't start till middle of July. So you go middle of August, September, October, November to get 4 months of baseball in and get like 120 games.
Yeah.
And then playoffs go like in December. Is that something that you'd be open to or?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I think everybody wants to do it, and everybody wants to win. And I mean, bottom line, we got to pay or play to get paid, and everybody obviously wants to provide for their families too. So that's another thing that's going on right now. I feel like if that were the case, I feel like you could tell me if I'm wrong, but you're kind of hoping for that because you don't stop throwing anyways. Like you're kind of used to that, right? Like we finish the season October. Whenever it may be, you go straight to driveline and you start throwing again. So, like, you might have a little bit of an advantage built in there.
Yeah, that's right in my alley. I'm trying to throw every fourth day, not every fifth. So the more the more throwing I can do, the better.
Yeah, you're scheming,
dude. It would be pretty crazy because like December is very, you have the holidays and stuff like that, obviously. And so if there was the World Series or like the week before Christmas and all the families together, I gotta imagine the ratings would be absurd.
Right. I'd agree.
Do it do it at a neutral site or something that has a dome, so the weather's not a problem.
Yeah,
it'd be nuts.
We'll see how it unravels.
Yeah. All right, I got a quick question for you about the off season and like what you were working on and stuff like that. What were you trying to improve on from last year, if anything, or like what did you think? I guess we can start there. What do you think the biggest difference last year was in your success?
You're gonna love this because this is what you you told me to do. But I threw a hell of a lot more breaking balls. Obviously, I feel like both my slider and my curveball improved, so that obviously helped. But I threw quite a few more of them. I think my walk rates were up a little bit, but that was good for me. So I wasn't as predictable and in the zone. I'm like, I get 3-1 on a hitter. I'm not going to groove a heater. I'm going to throw something else and make him beat me. I learned that pretty quickly in 2018 because if I didn't, you and Clev would let me know, that's for sure. And so I think that was the biggest difference for me last year. And that was one of the things I was really looking forward to going into this year is to see like, what adjustments I was going to make going off of last year. Because obviously you can't just continue to do the same thing. Hitters are way too quick, way too smart. Scouting reports are way too good nowadays to just be able to do the same thing. You got to continually adjust. So I was working on a changeup to, obviously throw to mostly left-handers, but potentially right-handers. I think that would be awesome to get something going the other way into right-handers. And what's upsetting, I feel like it happened this way for a lot of people, but right when the shutdown happened or spring training canceled, I felt like that my changeup was finally coming into form, and I was like, "Oh man, I kind of found it here," and I was super stoked. And that's kind of how things always work out. Like, you're gonna feel with something like this. It seems like you're always gonna feel extremely ready and up to that point until things get canceled, and that's kind of just how it all worked out. But I was stoked. Obviously, to start the first game of the season, I kind of had like 5 pitches working for me. I was working on a cutter. And it was sometimes good, sometimes not, but it was serviceable, that's for sure. And I was really excited to get that thing going, all 5 of those pitches, really.
So I've been working with my analysts, and we've been developing stuff to like evaluate people's individual stuff and their whole arsenal and stuff like that. Figure out who has the best stuff in baseball and like who needs to improve and where they need to improve and all that different stuff. So in almost all of our models, when we run the top 15 pitchers for stuff in the league, you're in that, in almost all of them. How's that feel?
I'll take it. It feels good because normally my whole thing, at least through my progression through college, minor leagues, up until last year, it was like, oh, he's got like a low ceiling, high floor kind of guy, not great stuff, but he'll go out there and compete. And so last year, I felt like, I was pitching with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, and things worked out great, and I was able to go out there and show some stuff and punch some guys out, which felt really good, and that was nice for a change.
Yeah, you beat me in punch outs. I was so mad. I had you. I had you, and I got sick for the last start of the season. I needed 6 punch outs to get you.
You didn't eat enough dirt as a kid. That's what I was doing. My immune system all the way up.
Probably so.
I know. I think I was like, what did you end up at? I was 6 above you?
I think, you were, let's see, what did I finish? I think I finished with 253. I think you had 259.
So I was 259, and it was so attainable. I remember that. You're supposed to start like last game of the season.
Yes.
I'm like, oh man. We hadn't really had much dialogue going in the last month, but I knew that you were trying to catch me, and you knew that I was watching. And we were just like here. We were here like the last month of the season. I was like, oh man, I need this so bad. But it just doesn't feel right that you didn't get that last start. So we'll have to see how it goes this year.
We'll go at it again this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's good, man. It's been awesome watching your progression. Like, obviously one of my good friends, and seeing you go out there and shove on the field and stuff is pretty awesome.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate everything you did for me in Cleveland in a short little span. I always got good things to say about you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Last question I got for you before I let you go. How's the golf game going?
Dude, I'm so glad you asked. So I played once in spring training because, it's baseball time. I got to be committed. Yep. And that's the PR answer. And played at Wigwam. And I think I've played Wigwam only a couple times over there in Litchfield. And I'll never play there again. I think I've played it 3 times. 2 of the times I've gotten the yips. Complete golf yips. Oh, it was bad, dude. It's too tight for me. I just don't like it. It's bad vibes over there. I'll play decent anywhere else, but I gotta have bad memories there. I'll probably never play there ever again. I was hitting like hosel rockets straight 90 degrees off the tee box, and it was the worst time of my life. So finally built up the courage. They opened up courses in Santa Barbara like a week ago. And I went on Wednesday, and I was striping it. So happy to report things are looking up. It's a little bit easier when they raise the cups out of the ground, and you can just blast a 10-footer right at the cup and bang it home. But
no pace, no feel.
No, I used to think the ball going in the cup was the best sound in golf, but it's actually the ricochet off of the cup. Is my new favorite sound in golf.
That's awesome. Straight velo, exactly what you need on the field too.
Yeah, that's what okay. Still working on it.
Just bang it home from 60 feet 6. Bah!
Yeah, no, I got to get back out there and make sure it wasn't a goof.
You going up against Michael Jordan anytime soon in the golf game?
Oh my gosh, you see he was playing before they would play basketball. Before he was playing on game days.
It's crazy.
And
still going out there and dropping 50.
Yeah, unbelievable. And he said now, well, was it back then he was playing every day too, or is it just now that he's retired? He's playing every day like 36 holes.
Yeah, it's just crazy competitor. Like.
Oh yeah, and he's good, man. And I saw this. I saw that video resurface on Twitter. Actually, I saw it for the first time when he was in the AFL and Tito was coaching third base.
Yeah.
Unbelievable video.
Yeah, crazy. He's like hitting a double and like, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't remember. Like, I knew I'd heard that he coached him in Double-A, but I didn't remember that until it came up. I was like, oh, that's right. Like, I should have asked Tito about that, but I just, things fall through the cracks.
That was such a cool video to see.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. I don't want to take up your whole day. I know you got a grocery store run to make and
Oh yeah.
some new recipes to try and some fires to put out. So I got to go tend to my bee problem. So appreciate you joining me. It's always good catching up with you. Hopefully we'll see you soon on the field.
I appreciate it, brother. You guys be well, be safe. Yeah, we'll get ready for that season for when it comes.
Awesome. Good luck when it does. See you, Beebs.